Here's more wrestling news for May 4th, 2022, and your headlines for this afternoon include: did WWE intentionally joke on the recent WWE releases? WWE had different name on original NXT release list. It's wild. AEW star Fuego del Sol provides latest update on his injury, displays gruesome hole in his neck. That bridge was burned. Former WWE star claims Tony Khan was upset with him for going back to Vince McMahon's promotion. Tino Sabbatelli opens up about leaking AEW spoilers. Mystery figures invade WWE NXT after main event. Released WWE superstar says he lost a little respect for Triple H. New behind-the-scenes AEW show in the works for TBS. Fans surveyed on potential titles. Becky Lynch pleads with fans to block and report fake WWE superstar accounts that ask for money. He starts off nicely and then gets vicious. Ex-WWE star on working with Vince McMahon. Possible location for the 2023 Royal Rumble. Bully Ray calls AEW star the next Rock on the microphone, and more. We're starting off today with last night's NXT 2.0 Spring Break-In Special, which was the first event to happen after the 10 releases from the brand. It's been reported that WWE creative weren't told in advance who was going to be released, meaning that a lot of current storylines had to be dropped, and WWE tried their best to explain it on the show. During the show, Indy Hartwell could be seen staring at her wedding ring finger, but without a ring on it, as it appears that Loomis decided to leave her and end their marriage. A sour note for this storyline to end on, the segment continued with Duke Hudson, who leaned in to give Hartwell a kiss, indicating that his own romance with Persia Pirotta has also ended. Hartwell wasn't on board with the kiss though, and this segment was clearly done to try and give some closure, however strange, to two angles in NXT 2.0. Some fans have speculated that perhaps Loomis and Pirotta left their respective partners because they fell in love, but whatever the case, these angles are officially over on NXT 2.0. Dexter Loomis was one of 10 wrestlers released by WWE as part of the company's never-ending budget cuts. Loomis was cut despite being a prominent feature just a few months ago, as he headlined the premiere episode of NXT 2.0, and it seems like WWE didn't plan on releasing him so soon. On Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez revealed that before the releases happened, he received a list of who WWE planned on cutting, and that 9 out of 10 turned out to be accurate. However, one anonymous superstar who was meant to be cut was taken off the list, and Loomis was put in their place, which explains why he was the final person to be reported on and the last to be cut. Alvarez said he wasn't going to state who WWE planned on cutting instead of Loomis, but said that this is an example of people backstage not knowing what's going on. Whoever it was, their time with WWE will continue, at least for now, but for Dexter Loomis, his release was a last-minute call by the company. One fresh face fans have been seeing in NXT 2.0 is Nikita Lyons, who immediately went viral after her debut last year. With her unique physique, Lyons quickly gained a following, with fans giving her wrestling pun nicknames including Vicky James, Yam Yam Bigelow, and Theidenreich. It's not just the fans who are loving Lyons though, as during a recent podcast appearance, Dave Meltzer explained that WWE higher-ups are incredibly high on the 22-year-old superstar. Meltzer added that while he doesn't see her as Braun Breaker or Gable Steveson, who are both expected to be fast-tracked to the main roster, she's incredibly over with the company, and those higher-ups didn't realize at first just how popular she'd be with the fans. WWE recently introduced a new policy where new signings must show improvement within 90 days or risk being released from the company, but it seems like Nikita Lyons is here to stay for a very long time. For the past few weeks, Fuego del Sol has been feuding with the House of Black, who tried to unmask the luchador last week. Thankfully, Death Triangle was there to save him, but the battle Del Sol has been going through outside of the ring seems to be worse than what's happened inside AEW. Taking to Twitter, Fuego noted that he recently had a drainage tube taken out of his neck and that he now has an unstitched 1-inch hole in his neck. Del Sol also included a graphic image of the hole in his neck and said he'll need plenty of time to fully recover. As if this weren't bad enough, Del Sol also noted that he was recently suffering from a mouth infection and had to have a surgery to clear up his problems. Del Sol isn't expected to wrestle for some time as he recovers from his various ailments, and while Rey Fenix has now returned to reunite with the Death Triangle, it's now Fuego's time to spend some time on the shelf. In July 2020, Tino Sabbatelli worked a match for AEW, and while the bout is pretty forgettable, Tino's time with the promotion made headlines. That's because in the weeks after the match, Chris Jericho accused an NXT reject of leaking AEW spoilers, and many both in and out of Tony Khan's company pointed the finger of blame at Sabbatelli. Speaking with Chris Van Vliet of Insight, Sabbatelli defended his good name and said he laughed when he saw fans accuse him of being the leaker, claiming that he's not tech-savvy enough to do that. I'm an internet dummy. I don't know what a dirt sheet is. I don't even use Twitter. I don't go on Instagram or the internet or any of those things. I'm not even one of those people who talks about that. The leak in question was that Eric Bischoff was going to make a surprise appearance for AEW, and Sabbatelli added that if he had walked past Bischoff backstage, he probably wouldn't have even noticed the WWE Hall of Famer. Sabbatelli may have had just one match in AEW, but he certainly made an impression, and we may never know who Jericho's NXT reject was, if this leaker exists at all. Denying being the leaker isn't all Sabbatelli had to say about his run in AEW, as it was only a few months after this match that he was back with WWE. After being released by WWE in April 2020, Sabbatelli was re-signed in October, which didn't sit right with Tony Khan. In the interview, Tino said that his decision to return had upset Tony Khan, saying he may have well and truly burned a bridge with AEW, ruling out a potential return. Sabbatelli returned to WWE in October 2020, but was released for a second time in June 2021, and with AEW seemingly off the table, it remains to be seen where Sabbatelli will go next. More from NXT as Braun Breaker put his NXT Championship on the line last night against Joe Gacy in a match that the champion emerged victorious. For Breaker, though, he had little time to celebrate, as after the match, he was attacked by two hooded men in red masks, seemingly working on the orders of Gacy. In a post-show video, Breaker was seen being stretchered out of the arena by the men, and it's unclear where he's been taken. Gacy may have lost the match, but it seems his journey to the NXT title isn't over yet, and now he has some serious backup to take on the champ. We've got even more from the Tino Sabbatelli interview as, like we said, he was cut from WWE for the second time in June 2021. Speaking about this on the interview, Tino said that while he understands that it's a business, he lost a little respect for NXT's head at the time, Triple H, saying he never got any contact from the game. Sabbatelli said that he'd been told by some within the company that he had main event caliber potential, but getting released without a call or even a text from Triple H definitely stung. After his many years with WWE and burning a bridge with AEW to return, Sabbatelli isn't pleased with his unceremonious departure and how he was treated in those final moments. More from AEW now, as the company already has plenty of programming, including Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, and Dark Elevation, and now another show is in the works for Tony Khan. That's according to PW Insider, as fans are receiving emails asking for feedback in a new behind-the-scenes AEW show that's currently in development. In the email sent out to fans, it's explained that the new show will track a core cast on the road as they make trips to various AEW events and give a backstage look at how the company operates. Names suggested for the show that fans can vote on include Breakout, Fight to the Finish, To the Mat, and many others, and with the show planned to air on TBS, this could be the next big endeavor for Tony Khan. As we've reported several times over the past few years, WWE superstars often have their likenesses stolen by scammers who prey on fans to con them out of their money. It was just 2 weeks ago that someone impersonating Liv Morgan robbed a man of his entire home, leaving the Raw superstar feeling distraught, and now Becky Lynch has hit out at these con artists. In a tweet, the former Raw Women's Champion made it clear that neither she nor any other WWE superstar would message a fan asking for money, and if ever a profile like this appears, fans should immediately block and report the account. It wasn't too long ago that a man attacked Lynch's husband, Seth Rollins, believing that the former Universal Champion had conned him out of cash and gift cards. While fans may dream of one day getting a message from their favorite superstars, they'll never message a fan asking for money. And if the promises these profiles are making seem too good to be true, it's because they are. Now, Vince McMahon is known for being ruthless to his rivals, infamously buying both WCW and ECW and putting them out of business, but according to one ex-superstar, he's not any nicer to his talent either. Speaking this week about his former boss, Sabu discussed Vince McMahon's two-faced personality, saying that while the chairman starts nice, he'll quickly turn vicious, adding that he once had to hide from the boss. Sabu was with WWE for just over a year from 2006 to 2007 and says he didn't like the watered-down ECW WWE was presenting, and with these comments, don't expect him to appear on any future WWE reunion shows. Next January, WWE will host its annual Royal Rumble, and the company is already making plans for the event. The official start of the road to WrestleMania and one of the most unpredictable nights of the WWE calendar, WWE wants a big venue for next year's event, and they may have already found it. PW Insider is reporting that the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas is the frontrunner to host the 2023 Premium Live event, which would make it the third time that the Rumble has took place there. The first time was in 1997, where Stone Cold Steve Austin won the first of his 3 Rumbles, and the second time was in 2017, where Randy Orton punched his ticket to WrestleMania 33. With the Rumble still being over half a year away, plans could change, but after the success of WrestleMania 38, it appears WWE will be bringing another one of their biggest premium live events back to the Lone Star State. Now, when wrestling fans are asked to name the greatest talker in the business, it's not long before The Rock's name is thrown into the ring. Known for cutting incredible promos, The Rock has used his gifts on the microphone to transition into a Hollywood career, but there are some who could hold their own against the Brahma Bull. On the most recent Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer, and Mark Henry discussed the future stars of the business, and Bully said how AEW's MJF has a very bright future ahead of him. If anybody could ever challenge what The Rock was able to accomplish on the microphone, I think it's MJF. I think given time, seasoning, the right people to stand across from him, the right people to tighten his screws, MJF could become the next Rock on the microphone. Bully Ray also praised WWE US Champion Theory and AEW's Hook as stars of the future, while Mark Henry chose Wardlow and Tommy Dreamer selected Impact's Ace Austin. In just 3 years with AEW, MJF has already become a huge name for the company, thanks in part to his refusal to break character, and time will tell whether he can reach the same level of mega stardom as the People's Champion. And we're ending today with Glenn Jacobs, who has taken the next step in his political career. This week, the WWE Hall of Famer won the Republican primary in the race for Knox County Mayor, which was admittedly an easy victory for him given that he ran unopposed. Despite describing himself as a libertarian who doesn't see himself as either right-wing or left-wing, Jacobs will run for re-election as a Republican against the Democratic candidate on August 4th in what'll be the biggest challenge of his political career to date.
Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.